time round. Only time will tell. Now moving on, in June 2024, Kenya witnessed a revolution, not just on the streets, but in the minds of a generation. Gen Z, armed with books and no batons, turned classrooms into battlegrounds and knowledge into resistance. What began as outrage over a finance bill evolved into a masterclass in civic education, language activism, and literary rebellion. This was no ordinary protest. It was an awakening, proof that the pen indeed is mightier than the law.
When the Gen Zs took to the streets in June 2024 to protest against the finance bill, it was more than just a spontaneous social media revolt. Behind the placards, chants, and hashtags lay a deeper foundation: education. From civic knowledge gleaned in classroom to the critical thinking shaped by literature, this protest was a living classroom, and Kenyans' youth were both the students and the teachers. At the heart of this Gen Z-led maandamano was a burning question: what kind of future is being handed to the next generation? And perhaps more importantly, what tools are available to change the status quo?
We have to wake up and we have to do something about it.
Njoki is one of thousands who turned their classroom into protest lines. For her and others, civic education wasn't abstract. It was a tool, a weapon.
For me, nimefanya accounts. I don't know anything to do with law. So mwenye amefanya law anaweza kunitranslatea like this bill comes this way, and it's going to affect me in this way, in this way, in this way, in this way. Again, the mobilization ilikuja collectively because people understood like, okay, this is not ours. This is not for us. This is for them.
Njoki's defiance echoed across campuses, on X threads, in protest poetry and TikTok videos.
Finance bill ni ya kuga uria thirikari. Mabadiliko yenye athari kubwa ni ongezeko la ushuru wa
For this generation, civic education was no longer confined to government syllabus chapters. It was a lens through which to critique power and demand accountability. Echesa Walubenga, an educationist and policy analyst, views the protest as a turning point in Kenya's civic literacy. He describes the Gen Z protesters as a uniquely literate generation, digitally fluent, socially aware, and politically alert. They knew their constitutional rights. They cited the Public Finance Management Act, and they interrogated the bill clause by clause. That's not just passion, that's education in motion.
They have been exposed to different forms of governance. They know bad governance, they know good leadership. They know how reforms have been undertaken in the wake of bad governance. Not because they have been physically in these settings, but they have been exposed to these settings by way of literature.
But even knowledge has barriers. The 2024 finance bill, dense, legalistic, inaccessible, alienated many until language stepped in. One of the most striking aspects of the protest was the widespread dissemination of the finance bill in local languages, as different people came together to translate this piece of information.
Finance bill ka o rekeendan ay ka bananbaxayaan dadka banaanka ay joogaan mandamanaga arkisin.
Omudu owothe ni afati kumenya maundu ma thirikari. Mojawapo ya mabadiliko yenye athari kubwa ni ongezeko la ushuru wa urekebishaji wa barabara.
Sani tie gimoro mar giketo kanyo ni gimedo 800 million. Iwinjo. Ma ok gidwa wacho nwa ni gibiro timo godango. 800 million.
Magunga Williams, who translated the 2024 finance bill in Luo, insisted the moment people could understand, they could care and they could act.
All these people translated the finance bill and raised the contentious issues in that bill into our own vernacular, our own mother tongue, and the message, spread and disseminated and cut across class boundaries and all those things. Then there was legitimacy and uproar across the country.
What lit the emotional fire? Literature. Such books, once used to pass exams, became the philosophical fuel for the moment. They didn't just read literature, they lived it. They drew from its range, its poetry, its demand for justice.
The likes of Imbuga, through their books Betrayal in the City.
Zirua Maradhi, we studied Half a Day and Other Stories.
My set book, my year, ilikuwa Kifo Kisimani.
Themes of oppression, resistance, and justice from texts like Kifo Kisimani, Kidagaa Kimemwozea, Betrayal in the City mirrored the frustrations Gen Zs had with leadership today. In online forums and TikTok videos, Kenyans quoted lines from the set books, linking fiction to the reality they were confronting. Clearly, this was not just for entertainment or an exam topic anymore.
The likes of Achebe in pre-independent Africa, through their books A Man of the People, were talking about the same issues that continue to bedevil African states to date.
And for Kisimani, it's basically mirroring the whole thing that happened, because for me nilikuwa naona there's this leader anaitwa Bonoko, and the guys that were surrounding him usually walikuwa namwambia everything is okay, everything is okay. Well, everything is not okay.
There were people who did encounters from Africa with stories like Africa Kills Her Son. These are stories that are about the current day situation.
The 2024 protests have left an indelible mark on Kenya's democratic landscape. They have not only challenged a piece of legislation, they have challenged the idea that youths are passive bystanders in governance. The Gen Z protest sparked intellectual uprising, transforming the classrooms into protest lines and literature to resistance. They decoded complex bills, translating the finance bill to local languages, and used set books as a tool for justice. This was not just a protest, it was education in action. Anne Musungu, KTN, Nairobi.